So the market's sitting right at that pre-expansion, which is exactly where the most exciting time of the market cycle tends to take place. So in today's show, we're going to have a look at 3 must-own altcoins that you absolutely have to have in your crypto portfolio. Stay tuned until the very end. I'm going to outline those depending on at least your risk curve and when you decide to enter into the market. We can also have a look at the Wyckoff accumulation schematic, which we've been focused on for quite some time. And we can see how the market is literally moments away from expanding. You got a lot of the coins bouncing over here on the Banter bubbles. You got the hourly, the daily over there is also up. We have a new kid on the block. I don't even know what this is, but you can click on it in the Banter bubbles chart, and you can see what this is all about. But it's brand new coin. Yearly chart when this come out in March, right? It must be some sort of a meme coin. We'll have a look at that in a moment. Smash the like button, the bell notification, and subscribe to the channel. Let's get straight into the show content today. I want to start off with this absolutely bullish chart over here on the monthly chart. You got the massive cup and handle formation, and every single week that closes, the price action close, gives us an additional clue as to what could potentially come next for price action, and it further solidifies the final nail in the coffin. At least that's the coffin of the bears, suggesting that this is the handle that's about to break out, and there's a lot of pressure that's mounting over here for the bears to try and hold price down. As soon as they capitulate and at least let go of their bearish sentiment, you should see this candle expansively move through the top side. And we're going to have a look at a whole bunch of other signs and symptoms, right, that suggest that this is most likely to be the case. And at least I've been tweeting a lot. Go follow me on Twitter if you're not already. It's at Kyledoops. I've been tweeting a lot. You're not bullish enough. You're not bullish enough. And I really do still stand by that. And I'll show you why in today's show. So part of the reason is because we're getting volatility expansion over here while price is putting in high highs and high lows on all time frames that matter. For our daily, weekly time frame, monthly looks super bullish. Everything is looking good, and this is all showing pre-expansion, right? When you come off this low volatility and this starts to get lift off, that is pre-expansion, and the market is about to take off, right? So the expectation is that at the very, very least, to play out this cup and handle, we're going to get price all the way up to $106,516. Now, your job as a trader is to eliminate the chop, right? The chop in your own personal portfolio. All you have to do is survive, right? This is the path to success when it comes to trading. The time periods that are boring, choppy, difficult to trade in, all you need to do is survive and not blow your crypto account. And then you should catch the next trending move, which is what we can see over here, volatility expansion. These moves over here are what make your portfolio, right? If you're spending time in the market on that upside move for Bitcoin, that's still looking at, and that's unbelievable for such a high market cap asset class, another 55% move, give or take. Now, you can imagine if you correctly positioned in the right altcoins, again, we're going to give you 3 that I think you must have in your portfolio, and you adequately position in those, you could be looking at much higher gains, right? Triple-digit percentage gains for those altcoins in a low-risk strategy of just sitting in spot, right? Just buy and hold and sit in spot. This is all covered in Whale School, by the way. There is a link in the description below if you do want to sign up. They'll be taking signups right now for the next cohort. You have 11 days left to join, right? So if you're wondering what the hell you're talking about, low volatility, high volatility, I've never heard of this terminology before. There's a link below that will take you to Whale School. It's entirely free, 100% free trading course, right? So that's what our job is. And if you're a professional, proficient trader, well, you'd probably be looking to make money during this choppy period as well, which is what we've done successfully in Whale Room, right? Longing the range lows, shorting the range highs, playing the chop in between, and then sizing up your position on spot, prepping for that next move up that's going to take you to success. And we can see there is some supporting evidence if we look at the 7-day moving average for the daily exchange volume, which has slowly started to tick up, right? We've got nothing compared to what we saw in 2021. This is January 2021 leading into the peak, and that's where the much anticipated altcoin season took place, right? That's what everybody is waiting for. That's where your big bucks are made. But when it comes to the markets, it's the same thing, right? Survive the chop. Don't get killed on high leverage positions in the alt sector where you're going to get ripped to pieces, and then you're going to miss when that volume does come in. So we've been monitoring it closely over here. It's still trending towards the upside, but we need really strong, sustainable follow through of that in order to get to the levels that we're watching. And we have a bullish confirmation over here on the weekly time frame where our stop and reversal indicator has been broken, right? They were acting as resistance all the way down. That's broken through. Now we're waiting for the weekly candle close. If this weekly candle closes anywhere here or higher, this is going to be a monumental bull candle, and you're going to look for extreme follow through. And keep in mind, not only is this breaking out of the handle portion of your massive cup and handle, but you also can view this as an absolutely enormous bull flag, right? And you're basically confirming the breakout of that bull flag, which also has measured moves all the way implied into that deep $100,000 territory. So you're looking for much, much, much further continuation and higher prices from this point. So again, as per my tweets on Twitter, remember, go follow me on Twitter if you go over here. You're not bullish enough. You're not bullish enough, right? I've been dropping those tweets over there. Go through to my profile over here. You should see, I've been dropping a whole lot of information, all the things that you need, right? I gave even a trade over there. Everything you need to succeed is on my Twitter account over here. And I genuinely believe that, right? As I said over here, every dip should be relentlessly bought. Oh, and you're not bullish enough. And that's all. These are part of the reasons why, right? I have a full-on bullish signal occurring over here with price action above the 3, which is the yellow moving average, which is above the green 9 moving average, which is above the purple 30 moving average, with 2 more candle closes. Now, keep in mind, these are 5-day charts. So in the next couple of days, the next week or so, we should see the purple moving average also start to trend towards the upside. And when you have that bullish posturing, that's where you tend to get those strong bullish moves. And we've outlined why that's most likely going to take place as per chart patterns, right? Cup and handle formation, bull flag as well on a high time frame, and we're busy breaking out. You have multiple candles now closing and consolidating right around this resistance area, and this is the most conservative that we can possibly draw this. It's got the highest number of touch points. Touch point 1 to narrowly misses that one over there. We could pull it down a little bit so it touches that, call it 3, 4, 7 candles over there, 8 candles over there, and then of course we're coming into this zone over here, which is 9, and now the 10th one, and we've started to breach through that level. So following a long period of pent-up liquidity, you would expect that now when you eventually do confirm the break above this line over here and you leave that area, this is where the psychology really shifts in the market. Bears start to fall on their swords and prices then move up, right? And the trend should shift aggressively towards the upside. We are above the yellow line, which is a good thing. The yellow line refers to the RSI, right? This is showing you that the RSI is continuing to trend towards the upside. Not only that, but we've actually back tested multiple times into that, holding it as support. So as long as Bitcoin remains above $67,000, the RSI, which is your relative strength index, will remain trending towards the upside, thus showcasing that bulls remain in control. They hold the momentum, right? And you want to be on the side of momentum, right? Inertia is a difficult thing to overcome if you're trying to counter it. You want to move in alignment with that inertia, which is currently towards the upside. And if that's the case, we need to identify where we are in the 4 essential market phases when it comes to a market cycle. Are we in accumulation, reaccumulation, advancement phase, or are we about to distribute? Are we declining? Well, I think it's pretty obvious we're not declining, so eliminate that. Could it be that we're still in distribution? Possible, but very unlikely. I think the most likely outcome over here is we've just completed the accumulation phase, also known as reaccumulation, because you can accumulate, then you can mark up into an advancement phase moving up. That's what creates, and then the next reaccumulation would essentially be the secondary part of your bull flag, right? So if you look at, let's go to this one over here, the reaccumulation. So here, let's have a look at this over here. You are accumulating, you mark up, you reaccumulate, you mark up, you accumulate, you mark up, you go through reaccumulation, and now you're going into the next markup phase, right? So all in all, it's looking very, very healthy. Not to mention only that, but we also have a bull moon, which just printed. We know the success rate of that, very, very high. And therefore, we're probably transitioning right between phase 1 and phase 2, about to move into the next markup phase. And we can really dive into the details of this to make sure, is this in fact true? Is this in fact the case? And the way that we can look at it is looking at this chart here, right? This is the way that Bitcoin tends to range. Typically, you form this range low, you form this range high, price oscillates around, you get the spring phase where you drop below the bottom of the range. That usually occurs on extremely high volume, where the rest of the market thinks that we're about to distribute and go down to new lows and the bull market is over. For bulls to only reclaim price action back inside of the range. And this is where the tough task of them flipping the inertia, which was towards the downside, start to take place, and they start to slowly grind back, taking back control, and then they start to move the momentum in the opposite direction. So remember, the key point that we had been looking for over here for quite some time, this is weeks in the making, a strong bullish move that breaks through high volume resistance, indicates the markup's very, very start. Now let's go to price action over here. We had the very, very high volume over here that confirmed the spring phase. We broke back into the trading range, and then we can have a look, I guess, at this chart. Let's just move it on to daily over here, and let's throw on the volume profile and see exactly what happened, right? So if we throw on the volume profile, and let's just compress this ever so slightly. So there it is. We've got the volume profile on. Where's price right now? The high volume area is going to be this white line that's running through the screen over here from left to right. That's at 63,697. So we knew the second that the bulls could reclaim that level over there, we knew they would start to take back some of the momentum. And then we had a couple of other high volume profile bars situated slightly above. And we said full control occurs when we start to get above that $67,000 to $68,000 region. And again, if we go back to this chart over here, right, a strong bullish move that breaks through the high volume resistance, indicating the markup start, and then you move into the last point of supply, and then into the sign of strength, which is what you can expect will come next, right? The SOS phase, that's what you're waiting for. The break above the top side of the range is your SOS phase, and then you'll have a short-term consolidation and major expansion. What does that mean, right? It means that we are about to move into the advancement stage across the rest of the market, and thus you want to be adequately prepared in your positions. We have the lows, we have a high low, another new high that's occurring over here. If you're lucky enough to get a consolidation at this point over here, this marks a very, very strong buying opportunity, and that's part of the reason why I took the long trade. Although in the very short term, price is pulling back ever so slightly over here, we still remain above the previous month's high, which is where the bullish invalidation would kick in, right? So if you're on a leverage trade, this is the zone where you would essentially want to stop out. Now, all of this has been dropped for the whale room members in the private Discord. This is the trade that we're in, and you know, we covered this as well in whale room. This is actually from whale room. We're looking at the ascending triangle over here on the 15-minute time frame, waiting for Bitcoin to break out. We've officially got that breakout because remember, I posted this chart yesterday at 2:40 p.m. So it was over 24 hours ago. We're governing what was happening with the open interest underneath over here, seeing if it can push up into this zone. As it got into the zone, it did flush down one more time. I'll show you the real live chart now. But the good thing is that price pushed through, breaking out of the ascending triangle, and you've come back down into the zone now, holding that level as support, right? So this is theoretically the break of a low time frame ascending triangle, coming back for the back test of support over there, and we're looking for continuation. Now, these patterns are relevant, right? I cover this again in Whale School. If you want to learn more about this, use the link in the description below. Sign up now while the places are still available. We can only take a certain amount of people. That's only what at least the software allows. Otherwise, it crashes the site. So please sign up while you still can. Look at this over here. We have, remember, the monthly cup and handle formation, which is currently about to break out. So that's one bullish chart pattern. You can line these things all up, right? We have the weekly bull flag, which is currently in play. And then we started to take the low time frame ascending triangles, which is price marching up, right? Reaccumulation in the making, higher lows, equal highs, pressure into those equal highs tends to lead to the breakouts, right? So that's exactly what we're waiting for over there. So you can see the ascending triangle, there it is. If I have to draw it all back in again, this is what we dropped into the Discord, right? Let's just grab our line there. There we have it. So that's a top side. Those were the equal highs. Here you have the high lows that we're building up. What happens to price? Breaks out, comes back, back tests the top side as support. Open interest flushes towards the downside. There's a good reason why we need to watch this, right? Because you can see that a lot of the other moves occurred from here, right? If you look at this over here, that led to that move up. So the open interest has flushed back down to a relatively healthy point. And it means if bulls can continue to maintain this level, the open interest can rebuild again, leading to the next move up. And that can lead to continuation for the further breakout, right? All of this is dropped in whale room. We can look at, again, also in whale room, the delta over here. Now, on Bitcoin, it is positive. On ETH, it is positive. But if you look at some of the other coins, right, Solana is negative, showing that shorts are trying to step in. This is a good thing because if shorts are countering the trend, it means that you can rather look for long opportunities because that's free liquidity for the taking, right? those short traders stop losses, which are slightly above, will get stopped out, and ultimately that means market buy. The stop loss gets converted into a market buy, and that cascades price towards the upside, right? We have 𝗕𝗬𝗓𝗧 as well, negative over there. We have 𝗫𝗫𝗓𝗔𝗏 negative, and then we have Casper also negative, showing shorts coming into the market, right? So a lot to think of, a lot to look at, and consequently, this is my trade. This is for the competition. As it currently stands, on this trade particularly, I'm on 5x long. I'm up just around 5%. So I'm going to continue to hold that trade. Overall in the competition, I'm up like 17%. I am on a heavy weight account, so I'm not trading it, as aggressively as what some of the other people will be. But this is my account. This is the strategy, at least for how I'm trading it. I'm trying to control and eliminate losses as far as possible until my account gets to a certain point, right? Once I get to about 50% profit, that's when we go balls to the walls, right? That's when we start to go very heavy into our trades, aggressively looking for positions to move us up into the top 10. So if you are following along on the ByBit World Series of Trading competition, remember all of this, every trade that I take is dropped in the group. The first trade that we took was the bonk trade, right? This was a couple of days ago. Where's our bonk trade? Bonk trade, where are you? Let's have a look at the bonk trade. Okay, here was the bonk trade, right? There we got a little bit of sarcasm always in there, bonkers, right? This was the trade, looking at the ascending triangle, governing what's happening with the open interest. We get the move up and we take full profits, right? There's the trade, finishes just a smidge below the top side. That took me up to like 13% profit on the competition. And now the next trade that I have, which was the most crystal clear one to take, I should say, is going to be, of course, the Bitcoin trade, right? There are altcoins that are going to move with a higher beta, meaning much quicker towards the upside. But I'm looking to eliminate risk as much as possible because, again, I covered this in Well School. It's called the drawdown death trap. Named by yours truly, right? So the drawdown death trap, the way that it works is you find yourself often, going into a death trap of losses, and it's called a death trap because it becomes increasingly more difficult to get back to break even, right? You lose 5%, you now need 5.3% to get back to where you were. If your count goes down, you lose 10%, you need 11.1, right? Sounds more or less the same. Lose 10%, gain more or less 10%. But you can see it starts getting very exponential when you start crossing, certain thresholds. If you lose 35% of your account, you now need about 54% profit just to get back to where you were before, excluding the trading fees, right? So it's probably a little bit higher. If you lose 50% of your account, you need 100% profitable trade, not to be in profit, but just to get exactly back to where you were, right? And as you move further down, it just becomes more and more impossible. That's why I call it the drawdown death trap, right? At 90% down, you need a 900% gainer just to get back to break even, not even profit, not even one smidge of profit, not to mention the opportunity cost of where you could have traded elsewhere whilst prices were hanging down at those low levels. So I really encourage you, if you don't know anything about this, Well School, guys, it's absolutely free. It's all my knowledge that I could give you for free. Use it, don't use it, it's up to you. Now, if you look at, again, in terms of the trading competition, if you want to join this, by the way, there's a link over here for ByBit. It's pinned to the top of the description. So you can get up to $30,000 sign-up bonus if you use that ByBit link. And then when you join the competition, look at the prize pool. It's $10 million. $10 million, absolutely massive. So, of course, they are incentivizing you to join into the competition. And in the whale room, we are guiding you along, right? So if you have a look over here, one of our traders, Josh, getting a massive trade over here on the injective short squeeze. So perfect timing. That was due to the upward listing. So you got a bit of a guard candle there on injective. And then if we also look at our other trader, Farouk, absolutely crushing it as well on this Eigen trade, 94% up. For any of you scalpers out there, if you've been following along, a big congratulations. Now, we're starting to see signs and symptoms that the whole market wants to shift, not only based on what Bitcoin's done, but also having a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap over here, which the daily has been in quite a strong downtrend. As you can see, the down-sloping trend line from top to bottom over here. We've now broken up through that level, closed multiple candles over there, and we're back testing beautifully as support. And as I said, this is what I believe is happening. We're creating an order block over here, and that's going to lead to a massive breakout with expansion, because we can again look at the volatility indicator over here, and you can see it wants to go, right? It absolutely wants to go. What we should actually look at over here is we should have a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap as well. Let's quickly do that. Let's just see, how does the total crypto market cap look in terms of volatility? So similar to Bitcoin, right? Recontracting, total 2 recontracting, total 3 recontracting. That's on a weekly. Let's double check on the daily. So daily total 3 is expanding. What about others? Others also really, really low volatility. Total 2 expanding. Total cryptocurrency market cap, that's a good sign, expanding. 5-day, okay, also hovering around there. Looks similar to Bitcoin. Overall, this is showing that we are looking for a bit of a move, right? The reason that this is important is because we obviously want to be positioned in the right altcoins as this order block forms and we lead into the next major move. So you can see most people are still too scared to long most altcoins. The only one that got a little bit of a positive funding over there, at one point it was 132.79% on the funding rates, the interest rate that people were paying to hold longs open. That was on PopCat, right? Which was trending into all-time highs. But if you look at the rest of them, still pretty flat to negative. Let's quickly see on the daily if there's been any notable changes. Pretty flat, right? Flat. If you see the green and the blue colors over here, it's telling you that, you know, the market is not overheated. To get to an overheated territory, what you want to see is you want to see the oranges and the reds, right? Yellow, orange, red. That's kind of what you're looking for. This time period, look at price. Look at what Bitcoin did over here. Made a top over there, started to distribute, and then came back down. Now, what are the best altcoins to be positioned in? Well, typically speaking, the coins that perform the best from the start of the cycle are probably going to be the ones that are going to continue to perform the best. Now, some people overcomplicate this. They look at a chart, they look at a coin, they think, you know, this sector is down 90% to 99%, therefore it's at major discount and it's a great opportunity to get in. But I have to discourage you from that kind of thinking, because the chances are those coins will never return. If they haven't caught a bid in this type of environment yet, or catching a bid meaning being brought up and pushed to higher prices, they're probably not going to, right? They might get a little bit of a relief rally at some point in time, but they're probably not going to run hard. You want to look for the coins that have outperformed. So what are some of the coins that have outperformed since the bear market bottom, which was the start of the bull market? We can have a look at this chart over here. Return on investment from the after the first bottom, which I started on let's say the 1st of January 2023, which was essentially the exact bottom of the cycle. Top performer, Solana, right? Next, TON, and then Bitcoin. These have been the core 3 that have done super, super well. Just after that, and it's mostly considering the layer 1s, right? Which is why the meme coins on Solana have done so much better. If you look at ETH has done terribly. Even Dogecoin has done better than ETH. XRP is only slightly worse than ETH, and we know XRP is at the same price as what it was 5 years ago, which is definitely not an investment thesis to follow. So consequently, you probably want to be looking towards the higher beta plays on Solana, because Solana is likely the one that's going to continue to perform. So we'll get into some of those coins in a moment. Your job as a trader, as an investor, as an analyst is to identify which phase of the cycle we're in. Now, if we look at this over here, you can see it's pretty clear that for the most part, we've been in a Bitcoin dominated cycle. And we can see that by the Bitcoin dominance trending towards all-time highs, at least, or highs for this cycle, right? Not all-time highs that it's ever been at. It has been higher, but the highest for this particular cycle. So the flow of money moves like this. Again, all covered in Whale School. You have your Bitcoin phase. Flow of money moves into Bitcoin, causing price surges, right? Easy. Then you get into this overlap phase, right? Money flows into Ethereum, but it struggles to keep up with Bitcoin. Ethereum goes back and forth with Bitcoin, and then it starts outperforming it, and then you move into that ETH phase. Clearly, we haven't seen that. Ethereum has been absolutely hammered. Maybe we should switch out Ethereum with Solana, at which point we can say that, you know, maybe we're in phase 2. Maybe ETH is not the thing that's going to run. And then we move into the next phase, overlap, which is where money starts trickling into large caps when we see large buy-ups happening, and then the large caps tend to flow, right? We changed Ethereum's name with Solana. So Solana has now been outperforming Bitcoin, and large caps are going parabolic. Well, we're kind of getting to that point, right, where now some of the large caps are starting to very close to the end. So you want to understand this. It's all covered in Whale School. This is essentially what you can expect, by the way, if you do join. Cover risk management, support and resistance, candlesticks. This is how you time every single one of your entries at a key point in time. We look at chart patterns, how to see what could potentially come next, ranges and trends. So that's, remember, the market can range and trend, and actually ranges about 70 to 80% of the time, which means we have to give you a lot of range trading strategies. We give you moving average strategies. We show you the market cycles. Remember how you can look at where's our market cycles, how you can predict, which part of the 4 essential market phases you're currently within: pre-expansion, reaccumulation, distribution, things like that. We cover portfolio structuring. What sort of portfolio should you have? Should you have a concentrated portfolio? At what point in the cycle? Should you have a diversified portfolio? And at what point in the cycle? We cover liquidity, volatility, and the most important lesson, I would say, is trade execution, right? How do you scale in and out of those trades for the upcoming move? So use the link below, sign up. It's totally free. Click that button over there, go to the course, and all you have to do is fill in your details. You'll be prompted with what to do next, and then you can unlock the rest of the lessons over there. So let's continue. Fear and greed, 72. Remember, it can hover around this period for quite a long period of time. So just because we're at 72 now and you're not used to that, don't be discouraged, right, from looking for longer term trending moves, right? Because ultimately, remember that your biggest trending moves tend to occur when you're sitting in greed and extreme greed. Very, very similar to the RSI, right? When the high time frame RSI is trending all the way at the top over there, people like to say things like, it's overbought, right? You got to sell, it's overbought. Meantime, if you go back and you look at the actual data, the biggest moves occurred during that overbought period, right? So please keep that in the back of your mind. Now, I just find this so interesting because we outlined, the magic of the number 14, 7 plus 7. 7 is a very, very significant number within life and in the markets, right? 7 days of a week, etc., etc. You pushed into day 14 on the DXY. We're looking for distribution. I drew this chart a long time ago, all the way back here, I think on the 10th of October. And so far, it's following to perfection, right? So if the DXY can break down, it's not all said and done yet, right? Not over till the fat lady sings. You've heard the saying before, right? I don't hear her singing yet, so it's not over. We need to see a big drop over here in the DXY. If the DXY can drop below these levels, start to gain acceptance back under 103, we should see a big drop over there. And then the altcoin sector should get moving because Bitcoin dominance is very, very close to the top, right? So let's observe as the DXY, should it break down, that's the expectation. If this does start to break down, what happens over here? Maybe we get a little bit of a spinning top candle, reversal candle over here on the Bitcoin dominance. And then this can break this upsloping trend line. This has been an absolute rip of a move, right? Absolute face melting rip of a Bitcoin dominance move. Like this has been literally crushing most altcoins other than the ones we've chose for 770 days. 770 days, guys. 110 weeks. That is super significant. Just around, what is that? Like over 2 years of just complete annihilation. And then same thing for ETH BTC being absolutely crushed over here. So we'll keep an eye out to see any trend shifts. Now, let's have a look at some of the altcoins, right? Let's get into some of the altcoin mix over here. Remember, I see Trump for the win is one of the comments over there. Remember, we also have the election phase, which is coming up very, 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 very soon, right? That always leads to big moves within the market. So there's a lot to look forward to over here. We also know that generally speaking in October, it's the third week of October that Bitcoin tends to put in, its biggest rallies. And that's coming up next week. We're on the 19th of October now. We're approaching the third week. So stay focused, stay tuned. If you're not ready for the market, again, guys, join Whale School. It's free. And for those of you that have already done that, most of you are already in Whale Room. But if you're not already in Whale Room, please join into Whale Room. There's a link in the description below. The reason I say that is because the pricing is going to go up significantly, right? It's going to go up a whole lot more. It's never, ever, ever going to be cheaper than what it is right now. So if you join into Whale Room now, you're going to be locked in at that price so long as you don't leave, right? That's the, I don't want you to come back because you left and then you want to get the cheap price again. You're not going to get it if you leave. You have to stay in Whale Room at that price for it to be locked in. All right, let's continue. So Let's look at let's double check Aptos because it was approaching a key level. I have my eye on the zone. You can see, you got some divergences over here. You got overbought on your momentum oscillator, and this is really starting to approach the key area of interest. So I want to see if Aptos can, drop just a little bit further. If you can get this down at 939. Now, I already have my Aptos spot position on the table. Remember, we identified all of this over here where you had this left shoulder, head, and right shoulder, so inverse head and shoulder formation that was forming at that particular point in time. We took the measured move from there, and this gives us the measured move. We hit it, right? We hit the measured move. The good news, I told you, is on Aptos, if you can break above this level, hold above, come back down to hold that as support. So by hitting the measured move, you naturally are going to break above this major resistance over here, which is what occurred, this one over here. And if you can hold that as support, that's called gaining acceptance above a key zone, that key zone being $9.50. Then you can look for continuation higher and rapid expansion. So Aptos, you probably want to put on your watch list, write down the number $9.33. Jot that down, mark that down on your list. That's the zone where you're looking to gain an entry. It might only come to about 950, but between about that 933 to 950, I think is the zone to watch. Okay, Tron. Okay, still kind of hovering around over here. It's probably going to form a bit of a range. So, the hype has definitely died down from Tron. I would expect something like that. As long as it can defend the white line at 14.5, you could possibly get higher prices at a later date. But it's not where the action's happening right now. Okay, drop your requests over there. I see one request is 𝗲𝗏. Let's go and check out 𝗲𝗏. Let's click, see 𝗲𝗏 over there. There we go. So 𝗲𝗏, long opportunity over there coming into the zone. Let's just clean that up. One second. Okay, there we go. We got it. So 𝗲𝗏, let's zoom in over here. Coming into the zone over here, looking for support. Thursday's candle low is essentially the invalidation on a 𝗲𝗏 long. So you can scale in, anywhere within this region over here for 𝗲𝗏. That's the long opportunity over there if you are looking for a bit of a move. All right, what else do we have? Casper. Yeah, let's have a look at Casper. We have to have a look at Casper because Casper obviously at one point was super sketchy, right? It was getting a little bit dangerous. Breaking back into the trend. It's not enough. This is a strong, aggressive move towards the downside. Sometimes when you get these strong, aggressive moves towards the downside, you do get these powerful snapbacks, right? Where you can look for price to do something like this, right? Now, if you get that will be really good, especially when you come back. If you can hold above this key level, that would be the bullish scenario. That's what you're looking at. Right now, it's still pressure, right? There's still a lot of pressure. It's still risky. Actually, one of our traders in Whale Room, he took the trade, right? He was looking over here at Casper, 125% bounce over there. So, looking at the at least short squeeze. And I think we need to send him for some psych sessions because this is a pretty disturbing image over here. But there it is, right? Profits are profits. Profits are profits. That's in Whale Room. All right, let's continue. Atom, how's Atom doing? There is the Cosmos-verse function, right, which is coming up now. They have their whole conference that's happening right now in Dubai this next week. We'll see if anything magical comes from that could save the price. The only thing it's got going for it right now is, the high-low. You have that potential high-low in the making, maybe a little bit of a W formation over here, and you can look for a move up. But for Atom, unfortunately, it's only really healthy once it gets back above that zone. So who are the winners? What are the coins that you must have in your portfolio? It's always a very difficult thing to answer when you're trying to predict out for the entire cycle. I can give a couple. You can make your choice. I don't want to only give three because that's always risky, but Solana, I think you must have. Sui is a must-have in terms of the layer ones. I think Casper, if it can reclaim that 14 cents region, is a must-have. Let's check Sui. We've obviously had a monumental move over here. When it comes to Sui and the price action over here, what you need to be careful of is this is an enormous move up, right? Watch that this area holds a support. If it can, flip that into support. You're looking at continuation higher. If it loses it, that's going to be a deviation and you have to target down to 140, right? At the end of the day, don't expect that this is just going to keep doing this right over here. Following such a big move, your best bullish case scenario is this, right? Is form a range now after that massive move. Then it will start to look like a big bull flag. And at a later stage, you'll break out. And if Bitcoin does break out over the course of the weekend, which is possible because retail is sitting at home, seeing prices grind higher and higher, then you would expect that, this should hold up. It should hold up. If Bitcoin comes down, obviously this wouldn't. Based on the fact that I think Bitcoin should hold up, I would say your higher probability play is just forming a flag over here, which is a range between essentially $1.90 and on the top side at about $2.40. That's going to be your range over there. So for the layer ones, those are must-haves. When it comes to real world assets, I think that Mantra is one that you have to have on the list. Similar to Sui, it's had a big move. You probably have to wait for a bit of a ranging market to occur over there. Other ones to look at, Seapool. You can put that on your watch list over here. I think this one could develop a little bit of steam in the coming weeks and months. And then we have Axelar as well, forming a little bit of a bull flag, which could lead higher. So those are some of those. And then you guys know that I'm a true degen. So the majority of the opportunities, I believe, are going to come in the meme coin sector. And when I'm looking at the large caps, the things that I think are likely to succeed in the long run, I'm giving you Popcat, GigaChad, Mog, and I would say, like, if I have to throw in another one between, it's going to be Brett, and then maybe we put in Ponky, right? So Popcat, GigaChad, Mog, Brett, and Ponky. Those would be my top 5 picks for the meme coin sector. Now, there's other low cap ones, of course, that I'm in that are probably going to provide higher return on investment and higher beta plays compared to the rest of the meme coin sector. But of course, now those things come with increased risk, right? We have to be clear about that. It comes with increased risk. Now, remember I spoke about the drawdown death trap. Where is it? Let's go back to the drawdown death trap. There it is. This is the thing. There's a lot of talk and a lot of excitement right now around gaming, metaverse, and NFTs, that they're going to make some sort of a comeback. I want to remind you, these things are between 95 and 99% down. My scale only goes to 95. If you're down 95%, you require 1,900% trade just to get back to where you previously were. So we can have a look at those sectors, but I just want to make that clear. Now, I was looking at the charts. I haven't gone through all of them. If there is a little bit of a narrative that forms there, it doesn't mean that there's not a trade. There is a trade, but is there an investment or long-term swing trade opportunity? Probably not, right? So one of the things I'm looking at over here is Monkey Ball, right? Or UNKJD is what they've rebranded to. Now, you can see you've hit the level, right? That is in the sweet spot. If you're looking for a trade, I'm not taking it necessarily, but if you're looking for a trade, look for a little bit of a reversal from this current area that price is at right now. That hit the golden pocket. That is on MBS, which was previously called Monkey Ball, right? You can see over here, Prime. We said if you can get it at the bottom of the trend line over here, that will be good. As it chops about, generally speaking, this is probably going to be one of the stronger coins. And generally speaking, you just want to DCA into that area. It is forming an ascending triangle. The measured move would take you up to about 1380 on this one. Okay, let's have a look at some of the other gaming things, just see what they look like. I mean, this is, for lack of any other word, it's a bit of a trash chart. I have to always say that with caution, because sometimes a lot of these teams and the founders actually watch these shows. So I have to always be careful with what I say, but I'm here to protect you guys first and foremost and help you to make money. And that's the truth. The truth is that the chart is not looking good, bruv. There's not a huge opportunity over here. We need to look to the ones that have great opportunity. Now, there's a nice reversal candle on this one. This is Games for Living. So again, we can do the same exercise. Take it from our fib tool from the low over here. Let's just grab that again. Take our fib tool all the way from the Pico bottom to the top over there, and let's just see how that lines up. So it didn't bounce from the golden pocket over there, right? But let's observe what happens with this candle over here. Maybe, you get a little bit of a exciting move over there and things move up. If you look at Blur, this is part of the NFT sector. It is slowly grinding up. This is obviously coming off of a massive move towards the downside. It's just, again, guys, it comes to opportunity cost. It comes to liquidity. If you're a big player, you're somebody that wants to put in 6-7 figures into this, I would say that's a terrible idea, a very, very bad idea. If you're putting in like 3-digit position, then yeah, whatever. I mean, you could get the deviation, the move up over here, but the liquidity is so thin that even if you were someone that put a lot of money in, 6-7 figures, it's probably going to do that. but you're fooling yourself, right? Because there's no liquidity to exit. So when you try exit, you're just going to slam it back down anyway. So those are the things you need to consider, right? This one looks like trash. That looks like trash. Okay, Atlas, kind of holding up inside of the range over here. You got your range low. There's your range low. We spoke about that. Hit the range low, start to look for the move up. But again, it's the opportunity cost. You could be in other things that are strong trending and more guaranteed, right? There's very little momentum. Remember, I spoke about it in the beginning. It's about trying to change that inertia. Strong inertia towards the downside requires, a massive amount of extra energy and effort to reverse that kind of a trend towards the upside, just like physics, right? A lot of sellers in the market, tanking price over here, you hit this level, it requires tons of new buyers to come in to actually get it to move there. And I don't know, where's the liquidity going to come from? Why would there be major interest in this, right? So AXS, people are excited, 8.3% up. But let me just remind you, sir, 8.3% up following just that part of the range, 71% down. So it's nothing to really write home about. IMX, nothing to say over there. Nothing to say over there. Sandbox, nothing to say over there. Okay, this is the only one I could maybe make some sort of commentary on. And this is purely based on, a long-term range. This is a long-term range, which that's why when you broke out of this long-term range, you got a pretty powerful move up. And then you came back into that range, and then you lost the bottom side of the range, right? So maybe a little bit of a deviation over here, whilst at the same time you have a falling wedge formation. You're busy breaking back into the range, leaving the falling wedge formation, which opens up a target at least up to 528. Vulcan Forge is one of those things that tends to move pretty quickly. So that's one to maybe keep an eye on. S-Fund, Certify, not much to say. Okay, we just covered that. Illuvium, doesn't look good. This one over here, ApeCoin, right? Started to break out of that region, but honestly, not looking good. This is, Mana, Decentraland. Remember everybody in the metaverse. What's up, bro? I'm in the metaverse, and they're all buying metaverse property like crazy. I mean, people like Apple were buying metaverse property. Absolutely nuts. This one is still down, right? Wrecked. Gala. This one's okay. This one, also can catch a bid. Similar to the rest, it's deviated, but these things have massive impulsive moves. So, Gala, for a little bit of a gamble, you could be looking for a move up to about 0.06. Super's been one of the outliers, very, very strong, of course, pushing above this region over here. Just be careful of the deviation, similar to what I would have said with SUI, right? Huge move up. Now, the most bullish case would be you wanted to slow down. You wanted to form a range between about this 140, right? Or excuse me, let me just go over the level again. Between about $1.15, and on the top side, about 140. You want to see a range form over there for quite some time. So you're not looking for a trending move anymore on something like Super. Okay, GME looks like trash. Nakamoto Games, also not looking too good. Possible deviation back into the range over here. And then you're looking for a bigger move up. But not much to write home about over there when it comes to that. Okay, if you do want to trade any of these things, by the way, guys, there's a big competition which is currently running. This is with Blofin. Well, it's not even a competition. It's pretty much guaranteed, right? All you have to do is use the link in the description below to Blofin, which is over there. They hold over 300 different coins and trading pairs. The advantage of using Blofin is they have high liquidity. And then on top of that, there's no KYC. I'd probably say this is one of the biggest benefits. If there's no KYC, it means you don't have to give your passport, personal information, none of that stuff, which means you can ultimately trade very, very privately. On top of that, they use these fire blocks when it comes to their security, which means you can better protect your capital, right? Because you don't have any of that risk like what happened with FTX, where they take customers' funds and they start to invest them in their own shitcoin projects. You don't have to worry about anything like that happening. Even if they wanted to use your money or steal your money, they couldn't, because they're using the higher security third-party customers. Now, the other benefit is that when you do sign up, not only do you get your sign-up bonus, but based on how much you trade over there, the trading volume, you will 100%, if you hit those trading volume levels, receive AirPods, right? And if you go to the next threshold, you'll get yourself a Nintendo Switch. And then the next one is going to be an iPhone 15 Pro Max, right? And then the next one, you're going to get a MacBook Pro with an M3 chip. That's the one I'm using right now. And then the Apple Vision Pros. And then eventually you get to a Rolex, right? And these seem like big numbers to get. But just to be clear, it's very, very easy to get to these volumes. If you choose one exchange to trade on and you continue to trade there, remember $10,000 or let's say $1,000 in a 10x trade equals $10,000 worth of volume. So if you open and close that trade 10 times, you've just done $100,000 worth of volume. And as you can see over here, sooner or later, you're going to find yourself with those prizes, right? All right, Reef. Let's have a look at Reef. Yes, let's have a look at Reef. I saw Reef had some absolutely crazy moves the other day. I couldn't believe it. Let's have a look what's happening over here. Giga nuke towards the downside. Terrible, right? Terrible over there. Would I buy this? No, absolutely not. It was already a low liquidity, terrible chart. This is what I'm talking about, right? Low liquidity, very, very low liquidity. It takes a small amount of effort to get this move towards the upside. This could have been one person that thought they were smart, buying up. And then ultimately, if they decide to market sell, this is what these low liquidity coins can do. So it's important to look at the liquidity before you take a trade, right? What is the 24-hour trading volume on these particular charts? All right, someone wants Vitalik. Let's have a look at Vitalik, or not Vitalik, at 𝗕𝗬𝗓, but that's Vitalik's dog. So 𝗕𝗬𝗓. They say the chart looks good, 26% up. Let's check it out. I still hold all of my 𝗕𝗬𝗓, just so you guys know. Every single one of my little 𝗕𝗬𝗓 tokens are still in the bag, right? Because we got in very, very early on this. And now it is forming a very long-term range, which is a good thing, right? As long as it doesn't break below this blue line over there, which it did a couple of times. If it holds up with this and eventually the troops rally this thing up again, ETH starts to break out, ETH BTC runs, 𝗕𝗬𝗓 could be one of the coins to watch. Okay, I saw Moodeng also made a bit of a comeback. I heard they were getting some sort of a ByBit listing. Chart-wise, nah, it's not too great, right? Still downtrend over here. I said, mark my words, it's coming into this zone over here. And I stick by that. This is when we had the move up over here. I saw that wick over there. And I said, mark my words, you're coming back straight into the zone. I'm still sticking with that, right? That's going to be another 63% down on Moodeng. Moodeng is this a hippo, right? What the hell is Moodeng? Yeah, it looks like a hippo. It's a hippo. Moodeng, the hippo. All right. Okay, NEAR. Yeah, we can have a look at NEAR. What else? Render. We can have a look at Render. Indeed. Let's go to NEAR quickly. How is NEAR looking? NEAR USDT. The expectation would be if Bitcoin breaks out, all of these things are going to hold up. Their charts have been pretty sloppy in recent times, but that's it, right? There's your golden pocket at 420. We can look at Render. Let's see. Render. Let's go to this Render on Coinbase. Click on that. Okay, still waiting to break the downsloping trend line. Easy as that, right? Putting in high lows, but that's what you want to do is you want to reclaim back above there on Render. It will be one of the AI runners, I do believe, in the cycle, but it is a laggard. Be careful, right? It is a laggard. There's other AI coins that have, of course, done a whole lot better. Phantom is another request. Let's quickly check out Phantom. Why not? Okay, Phantom. There it is. Okay, Phantom, similar to what Aptos did, inverse head and shoulders, broke out. The breakout of the inverse head and shoulders or the measured move got you back above the key resistance, which was a good sign. Held that as support, and we said this is your next level, right? Target is 88 cents. Thereafter, you're looking at this to move up to $1.23. Guys, also, as you move through the bull market, please be careful. These are the types of things that happen, right? I want to show you what a scam looks like, right? This is not us, right? They have these things like the whale room, Telegram, or even my name. Hello. Scam, question mark. No, I have proof that I'm real. What do you want? These are the types of things. They'll DM you. We'll never DM you. We'll never, ever DM you, right? We'll always communicate through the main channels on the Discord. Same thing on Twitter. I'll never DM you. I don't have a secret trading fund. I don't have any of this stuff. Remember, they're getting very sophisticated. They now have AI, which can utilize my voice. Probably even, I've seen some very poor facial recognition things where they use AI facial things. And looks like I came out of some sort of a sunbed for like 4 days or something. My face is like melting. And then you have a conversation with the person. Guys, come on, it's not me. Please be real. Please be careful out there. I always keep my VPN on. As you can see, I'm in India right now. Can you believe it? I'm in India. So if you do want to stay protected, there are links below. They're running a lot of specials. NordVPN Black Friday special currently is on. You can save, you get an extra 4 months when you sign up. It's only $3.27. Come on, you can't protect your crypto for $3, but you want to move into degen coins with thousands of dollars where you pretty much have a 99% rug rate. Please be careful. Sign up, get a VPN, get yourself a ledger. I always keep my stuff protected on my ledgers. I have ledgers all over the place for different portfolios. This is a kind of a fail-safe method, right? They have to physically approve a transaction on this. So if you use this and you sign up with the link below, they're going to give you $50 worth of Bitcoin on your ledger as well when it gets shipped to you. So all of that is below. And then obviously also, you got all of our support over here in Whale Room, all the different traders, everyone is in there, and the pricing is going to go up on that. So all right, guys, we've had an amazing session today. That's it from me. I'll see all of you on the next one, which is on Monday. Have a lovely day. Make sure you join into Whale School as well as Whale Room. Get yourself your Blowfin account so you can get those rewards, and then also stay protected with Ledger and NordVPN. I'll see you on the next one. Have a great day, and cheers for now, folks.